Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about how a small-time beekeeper like yourself can make money every year and keep on expanding and enjoy beekeeping as a passionate hobby that makes you some extra money. Okay, welcome back everybody. Tom here from the Whistle Ticket channel, hanging out with Bubba. And of course, we're away from the bees so he doesn't get stung. So I've been a beekeeper for about 6 years now, and I'm making money. I'm enjoying beekeeping. There's lots of reasons to be a beekeeper, but a lot of people struggle making money and how to do it. So I'm going to share some of the secrets I've learned over 6 years, how a small-time beekeeper can make money and enjoy beekeeping. Now, a small-time beekeeper to me is someone that this is not your full-time job. I have 11 hives right now. That to me is still kind of a medium-sized beekeeper. If you have more than 20 hives, you're probably investing a lot of energy into beekeeping. A little background about me: I'm a school teacher, have a family. I do a lot of other stuff on the homestead. I do maple syrup, elderberry stuff. So beekeeping is just one of the things I'm passionate about. I don't want to get bigger than about 12 hives until I retire as a school teacher in like 15 years or so. So that's my story. Now let's talk about how to make money as a small-time beekeeper. First and foremost, and this is really important, I think, it's in the very beginning of your beekeeping journey, you want to grow sustainably. What that means to me: you're not going to start off with 10 hives your first year or even 5 hives. You're going to start off with 2 hives and grow sustainably. Every year I've expanded. I've gone from 2 hives to 2 hives to 5 hives. Now I have 11 hives. I actually had 12 hives, and I actually sold one of them because I just wasn't ready for that extra hive. And I know next year I'm probably going to expand. So this is what's important. Try to make money, and I'm going to tell you how I make money with beekeeping, but try to make money each year to at least break even. And I almost guarantee if you don't expand too quickly, you'll not only break even, but you'll make some money. And then that 3rd or 4th year, you will start to make a profit. So only start with really 2 hives, and also your equipment. You can get stuff used as long as you're inspecting it. I don't really buy used frames, but used boxes. As long as I know the beekeeper personally, I don't have a problem buying used woodenware. A lot of my protective equipment I actually got for Christmas, for gifts, for birthdays. So let your family and friends know, hey, I'm getting into beekeeping, and they will actually buy you some stuff to get you started. The next thing, bees. Bees are expensive. Around me, it's $130 to $150 for a package of bees. A nuke is $175 to $200. So if you can save money on bees, then that's going to help your overall expenses. Swarm trapping is a great way to get free bees, though it's kind of a next level skill. Several of my hives this year are swarms. Those were free hives. So that right there helps with my bottom dollar. So if you can catch swarms, that's a great way to get into beekeeping a lot cheaper. You can also talk to some local beekeepers. And this is what you may not know as a new beekeeper. If your hives are successful in the winter, you are probably going to have to split that hive, and your hive is or your apiary is always going to be expanding. Not necessarily double, but it's going to probably be close to that. You will probably lose some hives in the winter, but if most of your hives make it, most of those hives you're going to split. Most of my hives this year are splits, and I did buy 2 packages, but I have a rule. I never will ever buy more than 2 packages per year. That is just my personal rule. I don't want to invest more than that in bees. If I don't have a great winter, then I just am going to have to build up my apiary and catch some swarms. So if you can lower your upfront costs, that's going to help you profit in the end. So that's a major, major tip to get started. Most of the time, your first year as a beekeeper, you may not get a lot of honey, sometimes no honey. I know people that haven't got honey until their third year as a beekeeper. But let's say you're successful, you finally got honey, you want to sell that honey. What are you going to do? Where are you going to sell it? A quick breakdown for me, this is rough estimates, but out of all of my honey every year, about 60% of the honey I sell myself at farmers markets, at craft fairs. I even have people that show up to the farm, local folks, to buy honey directly from me. So that's about 60% of my honey sales. The other 30% or so, I sell in stores. I usually do a 70-30 split with them and stick to that because honey's gonna sell. It's gonna sell at the store. They're gonna make quick money. You're still gonna make a decent profit. And you don't have to be a big beekeeper to sell in a store. Even when I had 2 hives, I sold in local stores. So don't be afraid to approach, a health store, even, kind of a niche market store, an antique store. It doesn't necessarily have to be a food place. People will buy honey from you. If it's a consignment store, you never know. Don't be afraid to go talk to people. The other 10% I keep for myself, for friends and family. So that's kind of a breakdown of what I do. But don't be afraid to approach stores. Don't be afraid to go to a farmer's market, even if you don't have a lot of honey. Because I almost promise you, well, I do promise you, honey will sell. Okay, so now we're going to talk about your actual products. You know where to sell, farmers markets, selling in stores even. I have people come to the farm. I've even sold out of the back of my car. I've had people come to my work to get honey. Honey is going to sell people. But you really want to diversify your products as much as you can. Now, most of the time we're talking about honey, but there's lots of other products besides honey. There's value-added products, and there's other products you can get from your bees that sometimes as a new beekeeper you don't think about. So honey, of course, and that's what we'll mainly be talking about. But you can sell bees, people. You can sell bees. I sold my first nuke this year, my first hive, and that's a great way once you become established, because I don't really want more than 12 or 15 hives, but with a healthy hive, you're probably going to have to split it in the spring. And if you don't want to keep expanding, you can sell that. You can also sell queens, which I haven't got into queens. Queens don't take a lot of space. So if you have a small property, you could actually make quite a bit of money raising queens. Again, I haven't gotten into that, but I may in the next few years. You can also sell wax. I sell a little bit of wax, and I also do value-added products with that wax that I'll talk about in a little bit. And also propolis and pollen. Now I want to be honest with you. I haven't sold those yet. I'm going to start making some tinctures out of the propolis. And probably next year, I'm going to start collecting a little bit of pollen, see if people are interested in that. So those are the things you can sell, honey being the main one. So let's talk about that. You don't have one product, people. You have lots of products with honey. It's all about bottling. And if you're smart, you probably have a couple different harvests in your area. I have a wildflower harvest in the spring, sourwood in the summer, and if I'm really lucky, I have goldenrod. And I sell all the way down from this small bear up to Big Mama. This is a half gallon, people, and people are buying this. And I'm even doing cut comb Ross rounds. So don't be afraid to experiment. It's all about the bottling. Let me go ahead and show you my setup at my local farmer's market I've been doing this summer. Okay, so this here is my farmer's market setup, and I have 2 types of honey. I have sourwood honey and I have wildflower honey. And that's a really, really big key is most beekeepers are probably going to have several types of honey in their area. So if you're a good beekeeper, you can market that. And you can also see that I have a lot of different types of bottles. I sell, my smallest bottle is $3.50, and that's a plastic bear. And then I actually this year have gone all the way up to a half gallon, and that's $45. And these prices are still pretty reasonable. A lot of other beekeepers are more expensive in my area than I am, but I try to have fair prices, and I want everybody to experience a little bit of honey. And you can also see I have some, nice bottles here, some fancy bottles, some basic mason jars, because it's all about the presentation. If you can show your product to a customer in a very clean, presentable way, then you're more likely to sell. And if you are selling at a farmer's market, especially if you have several honey varieties, having a little tasting station is a great way to draw customers in and to make more sales. So I hope you enjoy that little tidbit there. And yeah, I had a tasting station. That really has helped me. At first, I didn't have a tasting area. But people that taste are more likely to buy, I found. And a lot of people haven't had sourwood honey where I'm at. Sourwood is a very local honey, and I get a lot of tourists from Florida and other places that want that sourwood. So having a tasting is a really great addition to selling at a farmer's market. So I am going to talk honestly and tell you how much I've made this year. I've made about $2,000, people. And I'm in the middle of selling stuff right now, so I expect to make maybe $3,000. So I'm pretty excited. I have about 50 pounds in stores right now that I just dropped off. I got another 20 pounds in the house. I'm looking at my bee yard from the porch here, and I probably have another 50 pounds of honey to harvest, maybe more. And if I'm really, really lucky, I'll get a fall harvest of goldenrod. So I think I will easily break $3,000. And this is how I also do it in the fall. I'm not going to focus too much on it on this video, but in future videos, you'll see some of my value added products. So in the fall and winter, I do 2 farmers markets. I do lip balm. I do candles from candle molds. I do hand moisturizer. This is all using beeswax. And the great thing about beeswax, is very valuable and useful, but you don't need a lot of it to make these products. So those are 3 products I'll be doing that I've done in the past. And this year, I'm also going to do fermented garlic honey. I'm going to do mint infused honey. I'm going to do elderberry syrup. And I'm going to try to make these little honey stirrers for tea drinkers and coffee drinkers, and actually honeysuckers too. So the value added products, I don't focus on until after honey season because it's a lot of work. But in the fall, when things start to calm down, I'm going to start making these products. And those are really going to kind of set me apart at these farmers markets, because I'm not making lots of these, but it draws people to the farmers market. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to keep on beekeeping. I hope you do the same. And if you're interested in beekeeping, I really suggest you give it a shot. It really is a great journey, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Thanks for joining us.